I'm live, but the screen's off. That's annoying. And we're back. That was really weird. The screen wasn't showing anything. So here we are. My name's Casper. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards. You're watching Days with Casper. Today, we are going to load up the youth and the standard press. Let's go ahead and start with the youth press. Now, the majority of the time, these boards are 7 plies, but today we're going to do some these boards are 6 plies standard for the youths. But today we're going to do some 7-ply youth boards. All right, so let's get to it. These boards are available at lifeskateboard.com. If you enjoy what you're watching, double tap that screen and share it with people for me. We're going to be doing all natural top and bottoms on these youth boards here. Youth boards have our same great concave. Kicks are just a little bit closer together. The mold for the youth boards is at the top of the long press. So you'll be seeing the same presses that we used yesterday. Well, let's see. You happened to hop on here at the exact right time because so let's see if I can, yeah, here we go. I had placed red there you go. Boom, said and done. See, look at that. That's the benefit of hanging out on a live, because the next two that I'm pressing are pink bottoms, and now the inner color ply is going to be purple for you. Very rarely do we happen to have all that stuff, but when you mentioned that yesterday, I figured might as well throw that in the press right away. So when you do order that, we'll have those ready to go for you. When you're asking for specific layups, sometimes the turnaround time is a little bit iffy. It takes a little bit longer because we got to get something specific for you. But when I'm just doing one color ply in the center like that, whether you order it or not, it can get used for something. So, good thing you popped on here today. We're going to load these youth boards into the press, and then we will load 4 standards in there, 2 of which will be able to fit that description you put in there. Pink on the bottom, purple in the center. Of course, thank you for your support. Ooh, today we're going to be loading up these 2 presses, and then I've got some boards in the next room to shape as well. I can't wait until I'm done digging myself out of this hole so I have time to skate. Haven't been able to skate lately. It's been a bummer. But there's some work that needs to be done at the local park. So I might end up doing that tonight and getting some skating in after I get some side work done. I've just been working non-stop lately. But it'll be all right and it'll be worth it soon. All right, so there's 1 7-ply, and we're gonna bring it right over here and tape up either end of it so it doesn't shift around on us inside the press. We're gonna do this 3 more times, and then we will load up the youth press and move on to standards. So remember, this tape is just holding it together while it's in the press. We used to use the blue painter's tape, but this orange stuff, honestly, it's not the best for painting, which means it doesn't stick the best, which means it's great for this because it'll come off just fine at the end. All right, there's one. Let's get another one. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. You're watching Life Skateboards be made. Here at Life, we hand roll the glue on every single deck to ensure a full glue coverage on every side of every ply. That way we can guarantee against delam. Delam is that thing that happens where the plies start to separate. Delaminate. Looks like I need to get some more glue in this tray here. If you guys do notice throughout this, I've got cuts on my arm and hands. My dog went a little crazy on me this morning, and I need to trim her claws. What's up, Lennon? Thanks for tuning in. I did put a story out there. Not with that knife. The best knife. What's up, Chopped? I did put a story out on my Instagram that said, if you're at Q, go turn the TV on and make everyone listen to my annoying voice. So if you can hear me in Q, I'm sorry. And if you can't, it's okay. I just know there's a camp going on right now. I thought that'll be funny. Hey, there you go, Jeffy. Whatever makes you happy, man. Your body's your temple. Decorate it how you want to. I would hope. I don't know, man. The kids if they could hear me, they might get upset. But man, those kids, they turn on the dumbest stuff I have ever seen. We try to get them to sit down and watch Cheese and Crackers, trying to watch Brain Rot. I wonder who's gonna get. I bet Brent's gonna get beamed with a dodgeball today. I'm supposed to take the car in for work. By the way, those of you that were here yesterday listening, what's up, Sam? Thank you, guys, Sam. Sam is the owner and operator of Life Skateboards. Not entirely sure how I got a wider piece of veneer in there, but it'll have to play for today. From San Diego watching. Awesome. We're out here in New Powell, Indiana. It's just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis, smack dab in the middle of the country. Making the best skateboards we can for you. These guys are available at lifeskateboard.com if you want to get one of your own. When you get on the website, it's super interactive. You get to pick your ply number, pick your shape out of over 100 shapes. You get to pick your wheelbase, get to pick your graphic, the ink that's used for the graphic, all kinds of fun stuff. So you get exactly what you want from us, and then we're gonna make it for you. In fact, after I'm done pressing this, I'll go through some boards that are available for purchase right away. If you're local to the Midwest or Indianapolis area, I've got a bunch of popsicles that are already finished on me today. Once I'm done with work, or if you want to pop in here, grab a board. I've just got popsicles on me, so they are 75 bucks. But on the website, those are boards that you're gonna tell us what you want, and we're gonna make it for you outside of the ready to ship boards. So once we're done with this press, I'll go through all the popsicles we've got ready to go. If you want one and you're in the Indy area, hit me up. We'll swing it by you. Or you can swing out here and say hi. Nope. No, sir. This is Life Skateboards. No, what? You can make it lame. It's okay. I love it. This is my favorite hat. It's from Low Card. I love it. I've been wearing this for a long time. I won this in a contest years ago up in Fort Wayne. If you're not familiar with Low Card, go get familiar with them. And go follow Low Card Chinatown too. It's by our friend Jaden, or Subliminally. That's what she does her art under. Just did some really cool artwork with them, so check that out. Woo! Yeah, it's been toasty here, and then really bad storms here. In fact, I went outside and saw a branch had fallen across a bunch of cars in the parking lot at my complex. But I'm not sure if that was Saturday night. I didn't notice it yesterday morning or what happened, but. Oh, wow, Acid. You know what? You didn't need to say anything, I promise you. A lot of people come in here making jokes and then I'm a smartass, and then we ended up being real cool, but that was like the most respectful rebuttal I've ever had in the chat there. Acid just gained all the respect of everybody in the chat. Good job, man. That was very mild for what some people say when they come in here. Don't you worry. Tight Bond 2. Specifically, Tight Bond 3 is overkill and Tight Bond 1 isn't enough. Oh, no way. So my little rabbit hole of finding out if there was some sort of belief system of worshiping a mollusk actually got Sludge some new fans. I love it. So what we talked about yesterday was, this is random. You guys ready for random rants? So, talking to my lady about how in Steven Universe the gems, the pearls are only made in oysters. So why does that exist? Because they didn't know about Earth when they had pearls. And then I looked it up and it was like any shelled mollusk can. So then I started thinking like, well, what if the world was made by some cosmic mollusk? And then I looked it up and there is a band called Sludge. S-L-U-D-J-D-E. Wait. S-L-U-J-D-J-E. Sorry. That their entire band is under the idea that they're either worshiping a cosmic mollusk or a cosmic slug. And I'm a little bummed that that wasn't an original idea for me. But it's pretty good music, not gonna lie. Isn't it? It's pretty rad. I love the movie too. I think it's probably because I'm sober now and all that stuff that I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. But man, if you would have given me that like, what, 6 years ago? Hell yeah, I want to be that guy. Now I just want to make skateboards and skate. It is a compliment. I definitely have that sitting at home. That played a lot in the skate shop I worked in. This whole bottom piece needs to shift over a bit. I had to do some jack adjustments this morning, so bear with me here. We had to raise this guy all the way up. So like I said, we were putting this in the youth press. This is the long mold underneath it here that we use a lot of the time. The youth press just has kicks that are closer together with that same great concave that you're used to on all of our boards. A little bit more of a shift. Good to go. All right, so we're going to lock these down and raise them up. Yes, they could be hooked up as pneumatic jacks. No, they are not. No, I'm not going to swap them. That should handle some suggestions. All right, let's lock these down and get them raised up. So these guys will be under pressure for a minimum of 24 hours before they cure in a stack of their own concave for 7 days. Once they cure, we'll cut out the shape, and you guys are going to see the rest of that process after I load up the standard press. So let's throw this last separator in here. These separators, I hardly know her. They keep the boards themselves separate, but they also keep a little bit of excess glue off of the press itself. So I want to get you guys up here so you can actually see what's going on. Let me just go ahead and flip the camera around. You get a nice close look at it. So you'll see the kicks start to form across the board, and then inside of the board you're getting concave, which is edge to edge curve. That deep concave gives our board strength in every direction, from end to end, and then putting the grains against each other inside the board gives it strength in every direction. There we go. So there's that. All right, so like I said, I do have some boards that are available right now. I'm gonna go through those before we hop on to the next press here. So these are just popsicles. We do offer over 100 different shapes, but when I bring boards around, I tend to just bring popsicles in our basic shapes just to keep people happy. But this is an 825 twin popsicle right here with the Hands of Adam graphic on it. Beautiful board, 75 bucks. If you're local to Indiana or Indianapolis area, hit me up if you need 825 pop, 75 bucks. And if you want to pop in here while I'm on the live and grab one, by all means do so. This is a 9-inch pop right here. Another with the Hand of Adam graphic on there. Nice knife top graphic. Good shape for a popsicle. 75 again. I think I just got dirt on my forehead there. Don't do that. 8.6-inch twin pop with the Praying Hands graphic. If you're unfamiliar with this story, that's the boss man's hands right there. Missing fingers. 75 bucks for this popsicle with the new top graphic on there. It's an 8.6 twin. Next up, we've got an 825 twin. Sam went crazy with this Hands of Adam graphic. It looks like a pink bottom veneer with red and blue ink on there. Really liking this Hands of Adam graphic across all these. Really looking pretty. 75 bucks for that guy too. Again, that's an 825 pop. Again, if you're local to the Midwest, Indianapolis area, hit me up. You can hit me up, Stranger Casper on Instagram. Get with you. We'll grab these for you. 825 twin pop, very basic one right here. If you want something real basic, nice, beautiful veneer showing through on that one. 75 bucks as well. And this last one I've got with me is an 8.6 inch pop with the new graphic on it. This is the Animal Farm graphic. This is our newest one. I really like it. Looks really cool. Got our block graphic on the top. 75 bucks. Again, if you're local around here, hit me up and we can work out getting those to you, whether you're coming to the shop to pick them up or I'm going to hang out with you at a skate park. Majority of the time our boards are made to order, but sometimes we've got these set aside like this, ready to go, that I am able to bring around and sell in person. So I figured, why not go through that inventory with you guys while I'm here. Thanks, Acid. All right, let's get you guys lowered down just a little bit, and we are gonna get to the standard boards. That hurt my feelings. So we don't mention that guy here. Cool? Cool. All right. No, I'm cool, Shane. How long does it make to take a board start to finish? There's a lot of wait time in each of these. So the boards are under pressure in the press for 24 hours, and then they cure it for 7 days in a stack of their own concave. Then it goes to shaping, graphic application, drying on the ink, and then clear coating and drying on that. So we could turn it around pretty quickly. Sometimes there's an issue with the pressing process. It's not perfect every single time. So if we got to redo something, that's what that longer turnaround time is. What trucks do I think are the best? So that's a loaded question right there. So truck preference is entirely personal. So I'll explain how I landed on my truck preference. I used to skate independents. Really liked how they skated when they were loose. And I always took my bottom washer off because it opened up the turn radius on it. I then switched to Aces because they felt like they were a little bit more turny. I tried to switch from the Ace Classics to the AF1s, and the sound on concrete made me stick with Classics. So in my opinion, Ace Classics are the best to skate. But you are gonna have people that say Crux are the best to skate for technical stuff. Slappies, I really like Slappies. I like what they're doing, I like who they're working with, and you just can't go wrong with independent either. It used to be that independent was forged in the US and really good quality. They'd replace it if it broke. But now I think they're all made elsewhere, so not really much setting them apart besides turn radius and stuff. They sure can take a beating, that's for sure. Thank you, Carpenter. He's not really my enemy, though. I wouldn't consider that. He's just a I don't see much contribution that matters, in my opinion. I just see talking about controversial things for the sake of talking about controversial things to clickbait, and I don't know, doing that at the expense of other people's well-being really upsets me. So I don't know. I've never done anything that got the place where I work shot up. So I heard he did. Sorry, I'm gonna stop talking about that now. Skateboard making. Is it still lifetime on independent? Rad. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the feel of Aces now. I don't know, independent won my heart when I turned in, so I had a set of Independents that I was skating a while ago, before I even rode for Life. On film, I did this really heavy, like heavy-footed line. It was like wall plant, come back across the park, do a setup trick, wall plant 180, come back across the park, do a setup trick, wall plant, hand varial, and then I did a wall plant 360 and rolled away from it with my hanger snapped. I sent that to them, and instead of standards, they sent me titaniums. So I really liked them as a company. If it weren't for Sam, I probably wouldn't be riding Aces, but I really just like how they feel now. Well, Josh, if you want a better hobby that turns into a lifestyle and a way of life, pick up a skateboard. It helps, promise. But yeah, no, when it comes down to what trucks are best, it's entirely preference. Now you're gonna run into people that have really negative opinions of some companies because they've only seen the price points of those companies as well. All right, we're gonna do that 4 more times here. And on this one, I'll go ahead and explain what's inside of your life board as we go here. We got you, Josh. Ooh, that sounds pretty, Celine. Celine? Yeah, Selena, sorry. So inside of your skateboard, you've got 7 plies of maple, specifically Great Lakes or Canadian maple. You want something with slow growth, long winters, gives you a less porous wood. You can go to Life Skateboards and check out over the 100 shapes that we have. We probably got something that works for you, but if you want something fully custom, you're gonna have to contact Sam, the owner, who just left a little bit ago. But he handles all the custom stuff like that. He would make it for you. The contact information for him is at lifeskateboard.com. But all right, let's go here. So you've got 2 different directions on the grain. You've got these vertical grains like this, and these horizontal grains. These horizontal grains are called crossbands, and the vertical grains have 2 different qualities. You've got a core, which is a vertical grain that can have some blemishes on it, and a face, which is a vertical grain that goes on the outside of your board. So inside of your board, you have a bottom face, core, a crossband, core, crossband, core, and face. Now if you wanted to make this a 6-ply, we just slip out this bottom core right here, this guy. If we wanted to make it an 8-ply, we would slide another one right in the middle. So let's go ahead and get these 7 plies going here. Thanks for the insight, Andrews. He really needed that. That was important. Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate you for popping in here. Remember, guys, these boards are available at lifeskateboard.com. You're seeing me press a lot of standard size boards right now, but the cool thing about us is we have everything, and we make everything. So if you want a 775, we got you. If you want a board that's 14.6 inches wide, we also got you. If you want a board that's wider than that, we have to make a new press. Sorry, that's as wide as it goes. But we do have boards all the way up to 14.6 inches wide that are pressed, shaped, and graphics applied in-house with hand-carved lino blocks. Our graphic application process is one thing that I'm really stoked on and proud about. We hate heat transfers. Heat transfers ruin skateboards, no matter how easy it is to do them. When you apply something to a deck with heat, it weakens the bond between the wood and the glue. We don't like the idea of that, so what we do is we commission local artists to hand-carve lino blocks for us. It's kind of like a big stamp. I'm sure you might have carved some in high school. But they're really beautiful carvings, and then we get to apply them by hand. And the cool thing about that is that we get to use the same blocks that we used on the boards themselves for apparel. So you can get a shirt, sweatshirt, or whatever you want with the same graphic as your board on it, which is pretty cool. Oh, absolutely. Yep. 8.0. And an 8.0 will, these ones right here are going to fit that 8.0. Well, hold on. Let me think about this. I think actually there might just be an 8.1 on the website. but I'm pretty sure you can talk to Sam about getting it down to an 8. That same email that you emailed Sam on, go ahead and email him again and ask if you put an order in for an 8.1 with an 8 in the notes, if he can taper that down for you. I think he just really likes how that 8.1 looks coming off of our concave. That animal farm graphic is really cool. I didn't even know that was coming until I saw the block for it. Well, let's put it this way, Photo Demon. What Damon's referring to there is I posted a wheel well video that went viral, and people were really upset that they thought it was going to weaken the deck. Well, when your deck's already way stronger than a normal factory deck, I don't know, like, it was hard to take any of those people's opinions seriously while I was at Bam's house with the same board that was in the video, skating just fine. I don't know. It was weird. I was on my way to Bam's responding to comments about that. What's my go-to trick? Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Flat ground, tray flip. Transition, Miller flip. Downstairs, 360 boneless. I don't know, because 540 boneless and transition's a pretty used one on my side too. I don't know. I really wish I could skate a lot more in the last week or so, and unfortunately for this foreseeable future for about a week or so, just digging myself out of this hole that wreck put me in. So I've been working non-stop. Man, Peter, so I need to grab a different face ply out of here. Cool. So when I broke my leg, that was like 4 years ago, I was doing a beautiful varial heels that day. And then that was the trick that just did not work after my recovery. And then recently something just kind of clicked for him. I don't know what it was, but something clicked. They feel really good. I like that trick a lot. Any tips for starting out on transition? Yeah. Make sure you know how to carve first. Loosen your trucks real nice. And have fun. Put your hand on the coping, put your hand on your board. If anybody tells you not to, smack them with your board. They need to learn. And then eventually you can learn bonelesses with tailbones in them, so you can just do that while you're skating. It's fun. Old school tricks are really fun to use, to learn. Learning like sweepers and some of the like sillier tricks that I really enjoy myself, but learning them helps you set up for other stuff. Like learning a sweeper is going to teach you how to acid drop. Being able to acid drop is going to be your steps to being able to do like big jumps into ramps from standing, like how Jaime Mateo does. Jaime Mateo. And just have fun. But since you've been skating for a long time, I'm gonna give you this little tiny piece of advice that I still give to everyone. Kids, anybody that's learning a new aspect of skateboarding, because it's been so long since you learned stuff. It's a completely different animal. You're gonna be using muscles that you haven't really used before. So the first day you get to it, stuff's gonna seem difficult. Just stick with it. Things will become easier. That was like when I started skating vert. When the first time I skated a vert ramp, actually skated it, not the first time I dropped in on one. I couldn't do anything at all, and that was only a few years ago. I have no clue, my friend. Unless he's actually actively making a skateboard, it's not a skateboard company. It's just a graphic design company that has skateboards made for them. But that's my opinion. I don't know. People starting their own brands is what it is. So what you're referring to is a thing that already exists. That's called freeboarding. The freeboard has a third rotating wheel on it that makes it function kind of like a snowboard, but it functions kind of how like you're talking. Or the 16-wheelers, or the 8-wheelers, I'm sorry. 8-wheelers have 2 sets of T-hanger trucks on them. Or there was a board that had just a ton of wheels on a curved axle. I can't remember what that was called, but I actually have like the deck itself over there from that. Yep, I work for Life Skateboards, a skateboard manufacturer. I don't know, Andrew. I mean, maybe, but those guys on freeboards are going like 50 miles an hour down mountains and stuff. So they seem to work for them. It seems to make so I used to do downhill longboarding, not speed longboarding, but just for the slides and pendies and stuff. And I used to do pendies. I used to do standy slides. Used to do Coleman slides, push-ups. But from what I understand, a freeboard just kind of lets the slides start happening without you having to put any force into it. That's just my understanding of it. I never actually rode one. Thank you, appreciate it. Well, yeah, neither is, so, here. So this is the deck that had a ton of wheels on it, right here. So what it was these are the 2 mounting sets for holes right here. It was literally a curve like this that had wheels all the way around it. So only a couple of wheels touched at a time. It was really weird. I've seen one all the way put together and didn't ride it, but thank you. In a minute here, I'll be able to show you some boards that are available. But you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get some boards for yourself. These guys on the walls here are examples of finished boards, but I will go ahead and admit, all those on the walls are blems from over the years, things that cannot be sold. So just good things, good examples of finished boards to give you guys an idea of what they might look like when they're finished. But those ones on the wall are not for sale. Yeah, it's a weird one, Andrew. It's like super weird. No, it's weird. It's like a curved bar. It's not anything that you and I would think of when we think how to make a skateboard. And then when people make the 8-wheelers with the T-hanger, I've seen that done on our bigger boards. And they'll put it where the concave starts so that they're either on the middle 2 wheels of both trucks or they lean and they're on the 2 wheels on the other side. I don't understand how it works. I've seen a kickflip on an 8-wheeler before, but that made me happy. How much for a custom board? That's a very, very loaded question because a custom board could be a lot of things. If you go to our website, you can customize quite a bit about your board, whether that be the shape, wheelbase, all that fun stuff, and then different upcharges for certain customizations like added wheel wells or added plies. Now, if you're talking a full-on custom shape, that one you're gonna have to talk to Sam, the owner, about, and you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get the information to be able to email him and start a conversation about that. Unfortunately, it's just, I can't answer that without him being a part of it. I think you might just be high, my friend. I don't smoke anymore, but I think that might be a high thought. Because you want to be able to lock your wheels in. I ain't mad at you, but you want to be able to lock your wheels into stuff, and you kind of want that edge. It's all right, man. I don't even smoke anymore, and the other day I came up with a whole belief system that already exists, so I thought I had a whole original thought, and it wasn't. Castor Troy, I'm gonna have you go ahead and try that one more time. I have no clue what you're asking me. From the top. Hey, there we go. Hey, remember how I said that they were going to turn this on at Q? Now everybody's listening to my annoying voice at Q. Awesome. That's what, yeah, I once I came up with the idea, I immediately started searching my idea online and found it. But that was how I found the band Sludge. I was trying to find out if anyone else had come up with the idea that the universe was created by a cosmic mollusk. And yeah, there we are. And sorry everyone at Q that just had to listen to me talking about a cosmic mollusk, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. Oops. All right, so let's tape this guy up and move along. Are you the guy that makes fingerboards? No, I'm the guy that makes skateboards. That's true, man. You're right, Smith. Flowboard, thank you. So there's freeboards and flowboards. That is so weird, isn't it? That little curved bar with all the wheels on it. I don't really understand how that functions safely, but I don't know. It is what it is. Thanks to Overstand. Everybody, give Overstand a hand there. We were all over here speculating, and they went into research mode so that we wouldn't have to speculate anymore. And that's the type of person you need to be. All right, we're gonna load up these presses now, and then we're gonna get on to shaping. Why do you use tape? That's a great question, Chuck. So the reason you use so that when the boards are in the press, they don't slide around on us. So we don't want those plies shifting around inside here. So we just put a little bit of tape on there. We had originally used blue painter's tape, but sometimes that left a residue that I needed to sand off afterwards. And this orange painter's tape tends to not stick as well, which is great for us. All right, these plastic pieces right here just kind of keep the boards themselves separate, but also keep a little bit of excess glue off of the press itself. So I'm gonna load these in here, load the center mold, and then give you guys a better angle to look at it. And we will get right to it. talking with you guys and getting 4 of these in there, I don't feel like I've got the play time to get 6 total in there. So we're going to be doing 2 in each mold. Give myself a little bit more room there before I lock these jacks down. Let's go ahead and lock these down while we're here. Grab those next 2, we'll load them in, and I'll let you guys watch those presses press. And then we'll get on to shaping. All right, got 1 more to fit in there, and then we are good to go. All right, let's get these up a little bit. Double check the alignment here. I think this guy needs to shift a little bit. Let's get you up here. Well, that's a great thing to be proud of right there, that's for sure. All right, let's raise this up so you guys can get a better look at it. I should probably untwist the proper thing on this tripod to do so. Sorry I'm having so much trouble with tripods and equipment, guys. I lost my favorite one. And there we go. Yes, Andrew. Yes. So our first molds were hand carved by Sam himself, and then when that proved to be a big old issue, he started designing the molds himself, and then oh wow, we unplugged right there. He started designing the molds himself, having a friend switch it to a CNC program and having them cut. So what we do is we take a bunch of maple blocks, glue them and press them together, and then he ships them off and gets done to his specs. Whew. The most recent one we made, and I'll show you the bottom part of it, is the monster mold. 15 inches wide. This thing is a beast. See, yeah, that's what Sam did that. It was just, it's hard to get double molds to be exact. which is what we have a lot of here. And we want our mold to be very exact. Hit El Toro with the monster mold. So whenever you hit stair sets with those really big boards, it feels weird. I've got a video of just seshing with that 14.6 egg, where just like ollieing down an 8 stair, it feels like there's like air keeping you up. It's weird. I like it. It's terrifying, but you don't really have the option to get off the board because it's 14 inches wide. So you can literally like take a step on the same skateboard. I think it's pretty cool. There's also an edit of me skating the 14.6 and Chuck Bennett skating the 13.6 that's up there. It's pretty fun. Front nose grind and front crook happened. I think he 5-0'd the round rail. And then I did like some big spin variations, a tray flip, vario flip, weird stuff with a big board. It was pretty fun. It's huge, man. It's huge. Unfortunately, I don't have it set up with me today, but we can go check some out in the other room now that the glue is covered up. So let's get in here. We're stepping on to the next step of the day, and that's shaping. So those guys that are in the press are going to be under pressure for 24 hours, and they're going to cure in a stack of their own concave. All right, so I'm going to get these together here. I know that there is one of these that is not a priority that I'll probably get to anyway. All of these should be done today. All right, let me grab my drink. I'll be right back and we'll get started here. All right. So let's go ahead here. Respirator. I hardly know her, and I never know where I put my respirator, ever. Half of these lives are me walking around looking for my stuff. Aha. All right, so here's what you guys are gonna be watching here. What's up, man? Not much. Grassy Knoll is here. So, what happens here at Life? After those are cured, Sam adds the truck holes in right here. Not much, man, just doing a stack of boards, trying to play some catch up. After he puts the truck holes in, he grabs one of these templates off the walls, attaches it to the uncut through those truck holes, and then runs that uncut right along this blade. This bearing at the bottom touches the template and makes the shape happen. Now, once that shape is cut out, here's what it looks like. Right there. So it needs to be at a 90 with a concave in order for the next step, right here, to round it off and make it start looking like a skateboard. And then we're gonna clean it up a little bit more on the drum right here, clean it up on the Mac wheel, and then it's over to the orbital for a final step of sanding. So I wear a respirator for these 4 steps right here, and then take a respirator off for the last step. I think what we're gonna do here today, let's do this. Let's take some boards in 3 at a time. Let's knock them all out today. We're gonna do 3, 2, 1, 3. Okay? We're gonna do 3 boards and then 1 board, and then 2 boards and then 3 boards. We're gonna sandwich it all. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. But we're gonna start off with 2 of these new shape. It doesn't even have a name. It's that one I showed you guys yesterday. Oh yeah, so that's the aggro. We actually have a bigger version of that called the Aggro Extreme. And Scrim, what you saw, what we do make youth boards. Oh, that's awesome, Scrim. Yeah, we do sell youth boards. You might want to get him something, one of those little tiny, something to get him just standing on a skateboard if we don't make something small enough. Skate Mafia makes a very tiny complete, and I mean tiny, tiny. It's a kid's not going to be hard on it, so because they're not heavy enough to be hard on it. So if they are little, grab them a Skate Mafia board, even if they're just kicking it around, and then you know where to go when they need a youth board. All right. Where you're making sell the electric skateboards? What? Caster Troy, you have now said two things that I do not understand. But it's okay, I'll keep trying. You keep asking, I'll keep trying. All right, let's get to it. I don't know what I just did, but I think we're learning that I am not gonna shape these tails on there. The belt don't like that. Yeah, no, I know, I'm aware of that, man. I'm saying the belt grabbed this inner curve right here. So, there we go. It was shifted over to the left a little too much. There we go. Yeah, I think I was pulling on it this way. There's not a shape that we ever really have to deal with. Yeah, doesn't it? It's so nice. It's got this little curve right here. See, I've always wondered if this would be really difficult to do on a board, because it would be really cool for tail blocks and crail blocks, but it is proving to be a little difficult. But I think I'm learning how I need to shape these. So. move in side cuts just to be on behind the nose. Oh, I see what you're saying. The stinger's kind of close, but it's a little bit too far back. I don't think we have anything that resembles that. All right, last one on the boat, and then I'll show you guys a cool angle on the rest. This is a chubby stubby right here. Alright, so now these edges are ready to round off. I am going to get that angle a little bit better. You guys are going to use the back camera, and we're going to give you guys a nice cool angle on the next step, which is my favorite step to show you guys. So if you got any friends that enjoy this kind of stuff, go ahead and share it with them now, because this will be the fun part. I got to raise up the tripod a little bit further. Sorry, again, I apologize. I have somehow lost my favorite tripod I use for all my lives. Yeah, the chubby stubby, that shape is a fun one. Rip It Rampage, the skateboarding dog from Merkleville, Indiana, rides that shape. Yes, you heard me correctly. You better go look up Rip It Rampage right now. Alright, that guy's good to go for the next step. So let's change the angle for you. I apologize, but I am not entirely sure if I'm going to make the Ham City Jam this year. I am pretty much working constantly right now to dig out of the hole that the wreck caused. So next year. learn the ins and outs of this new shape. There's that right there. We got one more to do. A little bit of touch up on this guy here. Thank you, I appreciate it, man. I'm trying the best I can to get out there. Some of the fun part about new shapes is learning how to shape them. And that was part of that. One moment here. Whew. All right, remember guys, these boards are available at lifeskateboard.com. You can check out the website while I'm working, ask any questions while you're here, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. We've got 6 boards after these 3. These first 2 here might just take me a little bit more time. Really learning curve on these curves here. Where did I put the respirator? Hey there, bud. Thanks for tuning in. You're gonna go ahead and get 2 shaping. Cleaned it up real nice. That's that one we had trouble with on the belt. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. we got another one cleaned up. One more and then we'll move over to the Mac wheel. All right, now we're gonna move over to the Mac wheel. And then onto the orbital where I will be able to answer any questions you guys have. Since I get to take the respirator off over there. If you guys have any questions, get them ready. All right, let's clear this table off. And we will get to the orbital where I'm able to answer any of your questions that you got, because I get to take the respirator off. On this next round, we will do a turbo twin and a couple really big boards. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Got my respirator stuck in a pin, I guess. Oops. All right, let's get this going here. Of course, yeah. Yeah, we make the youth boards. Some skate shops do carry those little skate mafia boards, but those things are so cool. To think that they actually made a mold for that is pretty awesome. They're so tiny, they're like a little novelty in skate parks, but for a little kid, they'd be perfect. All right, so let's start off with one of these new shapes here. As you could tell, something without this dip is obviously going to be a little bit more straightforward on shaping. We want to switch down to a 150. We were using an 80 to reshape those tails earlier. So we bring everything to a 150 with this orbital. It's nice and smooth and not too fine. If it's too fine, then the blocks that we print with like to shift around while we're printing. That's never good. We're also going to remove any excess glue that the early steps of standing didn't get. Very beautiful natural bottom veneer here. All right, so now the top and bottom ply are nice and pretty cleaned up. Let me clean this up a little bit further here. We're going to clean up the rails, nose, and tail. So when you hear me refer to the rails of the board itself, I'm talking about these edges right here. Rails that you add to a board later are those little little pieces that go like this, and then rails that you skate are something different too. And then there's another type of rail that I stopped doing years ago. So if you noticed when we were over on the drum, when I got to these little bumps, the drum kind of skips over that bit. I'm aware of that. That's why I got to come back on the orbital to do it. Letting it skip that gives it a nice, smooth movement across everything. Oh, you know it, Damon. All right, this guy's ready for graphics. This is a brand new shape. Really digging this little dip in the tail right here. The first thing I imagine doing with this would be do like a crail block slide where you can slip your foot off of it onto the coping and pull it into a creeper. I think that would be really fun. But anyway, this guy's shaped, ready to go. Now, really quickly here, if you guys can do me a favor while I'm doing something, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and share this over to Facebook really quick, share it to a couple of groups, and then pop back on here before I post the link onto Instagram. While I'm doing that, if a few of you guys could do that for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. We're gonna knock these 2 boards out here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more boards to do after this, and we're gonna do them 3 at a time. So share that for me. I'll be right back. I think the screen's gonna pop back. I just shared that to Facebook. Now I'm gonna share it over to Instagram. So if a few of you guys could do the same thing for me, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys. And we're back. All right, guys. So that was probably a poor decision to try to do that in the middle of a live, but I figured, why not? I hadn't shared the link in a minute, so while we're here, let's fix this so this doesn't happen again. Ooh, that would have hurt. This thing is so rusty from all the sweat that's been on it. Let's see. Where'd my Lady Skate Squad one go? I don't know. We got Girl Skate Show on there. All right, let's go ahead and keep on sanding here as people trickle in from those links. This is that one that we had an issue with on the belt. So I'm really stoked that it ended up shaping out pretty well. Really excited on this new shape. I can't wait for Sam to give me one to skate. I honestly can't wait for him to post it so we can see what people's reactions are to it. Done with this guy, then we'll do a chubby stubby, and then I'll take 3 shaped boards through the whole process, and then 3 popsicles. I agree. Somebody tell Sam that right now, Bullet Bill. Can we name this bullet bill? Will Nintendo give us... Will we get shit for that? Can we call it Artillery William? Is that a way to get away with it? Artillery Billy. There we go. Artillery Billy. I'll take that. I don't think that the Nintendo guys can get mad at us for that one. The Artillery Willy. Wait, I said Billy. I want to say Artillery Willy now. All right, no, that has to be the name. Sam, if you hop on here and you hear me saying this, you better, that's the name, Artillery Willy. Hold on a second. The person that ordered this board from us name is Will. It's too on the nose. This has to happen. That's all right. Sam, that was awesome. I don't know. That's awesome. Artillery Willy. It's probably not going to be the name. I don't think Sam will go for that, but I like it. Artillery Willy. All right. 1 second here. I left a drink in the other room. A little bit thirsty today. You know me, staying properly hydrated with my energy drinks and Coca-Cola. All right, sanding down this chubby stubby and then we'll get to the rest of them. So guys, even if Sam doesn't go with that name, I think that we need to lovingly refer to this shape as the Artillery Willy. Artillery Willy. That's fun to say fast. How did you get the music from Super Mario Brothers stuck in my head? How did you do that? I don't know how you did it, but you did it. Now I've got pop happen every few seconds in my head. I can't believe you did that to me, and that was all your fault too. It's that easy. Yeah, Artillery Willy's got to happen. Wet Willy Willie grew up and realized Rocco sucks, and now he's Artillery Willie. I'm sorry, I probably should not have said that. Anyway, I need to cut it out on some of that stuff, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, awesome. And hey, I'm sorry if you tried to go to LP yesterday and the gate was locked. I got a hold of the Parks Department this morning, talked to the Parks Director. Everything got so screwed up on Saturday night that they were trying to lock the gates from preventing people that don't skate from coming in there and causing problems. They ended up locking the gate late, and then it was so late that they spaced it on Sunday. I've got some stuff to fix at the park in the next couple of days, but I believe that the skate park is unlocked now. That was a complete oversight that had nothing to do with us. Real sorry. As soon as when the park director picked up the phone, he went, "Casper, did I leave the gate locked?" So the old school boards in Lords of Dogtown, they would have been using like the old Veriflex boards. That was, so like part of the movie was when they were switching to urethane wheels. So that would have been in the era of even having convex boards for downhill or bowl skating, or even the roller derby boards were popular at the time. Of course. Oh, and the cool thing about what happened at Lawrence, so I heard about what happened at the 4th of July thing, that had nothing to do with anybody that lives in Lawrence, any of the people that already attended it, planning it, or people that actively use the park. That was a huge group that came from outside of Lawrence and caused a lot of problems at the 4th of July event. Still sounds like they had a successful event. Unfortunately, we just weren't a part of it. But when I talked to the park board director, I said, you know, seems like nothing bad happens when we have a skateboarding event happen. So looking good for next year, guys. Looking good for a 4th of July event during the 4th of July parade in Lawrence again next year. I'm excited for that. I think it'll be fun. Let's see. I was very, very sick on Go Skate Day. I could barely leave the house. It sucked. Was that Go Skate? Yeah. That was when I was sick. I hope you had a good Go Skate Day, though. Oh no, we do not make the veneer. We order the veneer. Let me go ahead and show you in here since we just finished that. I'll show you where the veneer is stored and what we do with it. So here at Life, we do everything in-house. We order skateboard specific veneer. Some of it's dyed, some of it's not. It's right here. So there's some of the dyed stuff. And then we glue it up by hand right here. If you scroll back in the live, you're gonna see me actually gluing these up and loading up this youth press right here and the standard press. Once they're in the press, they're under pressure for 24 hours, and then they cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave right here. After they're cured, they look like this. And Sam, the owner and operator of Life Skateboards, who regularly pops into the chat and actively works with me here at the shop, he comes right over here and adds the truck holes in on this drill press. Now once he puts the truck holes in, that's these guys right here, and once I plug my mic back in, beep, it looks like this. So it's got these, got those truck holes in right there, where the shape templates, the things that you see hanging on the wall, will be attached through those truck holes. These are the shape templates, all of these guys here, and all of the ones that you see around the walls. Obviously, can't see much right there. Sorry about that. All of these, they go into the next room as well. Once he attaches that through the truck holes, he then runs that template right along this bearing right here, and this blade cuts out the shape. Once he cuts out the shape, this is how the edge looks. Right here. And it needs to be at a 90 with the concave in order for me to shape it properly. So what the first step I'm going to do is bring that to a 90 on the concave right here. And then we're going to round it off right here on the edge router. It's a quarter round. Right here. Clean it up on the drum. Clean it up on the Mac wheel, and then one more step of sanding on the orbital. So we're going to go ahead with these three here. We're going to take these through 3 at a time, and then we've got 3 more popsicles to do. So you're going to notice these first 3 are going to take me a minute, and the popsicles, we're just going to run through these things. Oh yeah, love, passion, sweat, tears, and blood go into these things. Usually a lot. All right, so this one right here is actually a 6-ply, so you're gonna see the different method that I have to use on this for a 6-ply. Let's get to it. So when I showed you guys this shape yesterday, I called it a fat punk point. I was wrong. This is a long fat punk point. It's a newer shape, the same as the fat punk point. The kicks are just further apart. One more really big one coming up next. It's a Type Bond 2. There's been a lot of experiments done between them. Type Bond 3 is overkill, Type Bond 1 isn't enough. So Type Bond 2. And never feel bad about asking the same question if you think I've already covered it. I am very aware that this live stream is pushed in front of people during their shorts. So it goes through the shorts feed. I know people are in the mode of scrolling. The people that pop in here are sometimes only in here for a few seconds. So that number keeps changing. I am happy to answer the same questions over and over again. Totally fine. Do you guys, okay, I answering a question that I've already answered, that I've already read the exact thing, my bad. All right, so we're gonna get over to here. I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. This first one is gonna be a 6-ply. Of course, man, so this is something that I'm obviously passionate about. I love my job, I love what I do, and I love talking about it. So, thank you for giving me a jumping off point to Thank you. It was muted. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys. I had it muted. That was on me. So, I was over here explaining stuff. Dang it. Why'd you do that, Casper? Thanks, guys. Oh, Sam. Sam's here. Okay, hold on. Sam, we have a question. An important question for you. Oh! Wow, 40 of you guys stuck around here while you couldn't hear me. You guys are the best. I was over here explaining so much stuff too. But anyway, Sam, so a little bit ago, this was a discussion, all right? So this kind of looks like Bullet Bill from Super Mario Brothers, okay? but Nintendo would sue us. So came from a guy named Will. So can we please call it Artillery Willie? Can this be the Artillery Willie? I think this should be the Artillery Willie. That's my vote. So it's Damon's vote too. The Artillery Willie. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that that doesn't happen again. Dang, I was like explaining stuff in detail and everything. I'm kind of mad at that. I cannot believe I did that to myself. Dang it. Artillery Willie, come on. It's like I mean, think about it, Sam. Think about it like this. Wet Willie grew up and realized he didn't like Rocco, so now he's Artillery Willie. Can we take that? And the only people who know that's why we're naming it that are everybody that's here. I mean, think about it, Sam. We could make a rivalry about Artillery Willie and Arson Man, because you got like Flame Boy and Wet Willie. So we can have Artillery Willie and Arson Man, and you and I both know who Arson Man is. And so does anybody that shopped at Nomad after John sold it. But I am getting my shots in here, left and right. This is manufacturing. That is correct. Thank you. Is this how they're made? How they're made here at Life Skateboards, that's for sure. If you order a board from Life Skateboards, this is how it's gonna get made. If you're new to the channel, I'll go ahead and pop you right in here. All right, you hear them, guys. If you guys commit to ordering a Artillery Willie from Life Skateboards, Sam's gonna make that the name. But anyway, here's all of our veneer. We pull the veneer from here, we glue it up right over here. We throw them in the presses right over here, where they sit for 24 hours under pressure, and they cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave, and they come in here. Sam puts truck holes in them right over here. He attaches one of these shape templates all around the room through those truck holes. He then runs that template all on this bearing. This cuts out the shape and good to go. That's true, yeah. I wasn't around for Brian, so see, Artillery Willie is already getting like a multifaceted backstory now, Sam. You got yours. You've got your Arson Man. I've got my Arson Man. It's perfect. I don't know. I mean, you know what? I don't really know what reason you have for not ordering 17 boards, man. I'm gonna be real honest with you. It sounds like that decision's already made for you. All right, I'm not gonna be able to see the screen for a minute. Ooh. So I'm hoping that discussion continues while I'm over here shaping boards. All right, time for the big boy. I'm gonna check on that conversation. Oh, so we don't. So we don't actually stain the veneer ourselves, but we could roll a very light charcoal gray on it. Sam has done that before. Or black, but there's a really cool charcoal gray. And Damon, that's a good reason. I just connected what you said with why you said it. All right, now the 6-ply, and we're on to the Mac wheel. Oh yeah, I guess you guys probably want to watch what I'm doing, my bad. Oops. Alrighty. Yeah, so Sam is done, and I wish I had some up here, but he's done some really beautiful, beautiful graphics that were like black on black. But the first print was like just this charcoalish, slightly lighter grayish black. It was really pretty, really pretty. 1 second here. Got 3 of those. Time is it? About 3 o'clock. I think I might be able to finish these in time for me to swing down by Minus Skate Shop and make some posts about them carrying our boards. All right, let's get to sanding. So I guess this is how you vote for the artillery wheelie. I'm gonna find out how much Sam's going to charge for it. And if there's an equivalent board to order ahead of time, I'll have you guys order that one and put Artillery Willie in the notes, and we'll see if Sam will go for it. Because otherwise, you guys get the shape. But I think Artillery Willie versus Arson Boy. And we don't even need to make a board for Arson Boy, we can just burn one. It's perfect. Or just have it in Paul Vandergrift's possession for a little bit and then he'll light it on fire. He's good at that. I'm sorry. I'm not. All right, this big board here is going to get the edges rounded off. I should have been paying attention to the battery this whole time. Oh, whoops. Let's clean up the nose and tail on this guy, and this is a twin. And then we will get the rails. Hey there, Jamita. You popped in right as we're finishing up this monster board right here. This guy's ready for graphics. Now we're gonna finish up the long punk point and then the turbo twin. Then hopefully I've got time to swing by Minus on my way home. Get a little bit of rest tonight. The lady works at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm gonna get a little bit of sleep. I'm gonna do side work real early in the morning. And then we'll be back in here to do some more pressing, maybe shaping. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I've got some lights to install up in the printing and shipping studio. You got a pump track by you? Minimal decency. Where are you at? Pump tracks are fun. Oh, no way. You're up in Kokomo? Sweet. That pump track is awesome. If you guys haven't heard of or checked out the Kokomo pump track, you need to go out there. Am I just not realizing I know who I'm talking to and didn't make the connection with the username? Dang, I just keep bumping the bottom of the tripod with this, and the vibration from this keeps unplugging the mic. I'll be back to having a good tripod again sometime soon. Like I said, I have been working non-stop outside of here. We're in Indianapolis, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis in New Pal. There was a period of time where I was going around and showing off like all the hunger parks over on Instagram. So I was up there. I remember like right when it opened, I was out there quite a bit with my buddy Jesse. But you have an awesome scene up there. I mean, you guys produced AJ Nelson. Dude, hearing about Pipeline being gone was one of the biggest heartbreaks I heard, especially with the project I did over at Lawrence Skate Park. Like hearing that the city just took it out because of the way it looked really bummed me out. But I mean, you guys having Foster and then your skate scene, it's just rad. I mean, Jake Allen doing all that really cool stuff up there. Him and his wife are doing really cool stuff all the time. It sucks that I'm not sure if Local is still around. Yeah, dude, that bummed me out so much. Especially when, like, I don't know, I hope somebody would have got wind of that and then just, like, started a project. I don't know if you saw, but Lawrence Skate Park was on that path as well. And it happening to Pipeline was a pretty big sign that we did what we did at the right time. We brought in a bunch of local graffiti artists, worked with the city, sectioned it all off, and got, like, full-on paint job done. And it worked because the concrete was cheese grater. But man, I had never been to Pipeline when I was 100% and feeling like skating vert, and I was really excited to go back there this year. And then I saw the post about that, and man, it hurt. But okay, awesome, man. I kept seeing that he was only open for like a few days. I was seeing that he didn't have a lot of product, but he was trying to get as much as, it just seemed like Tommy was just doing whatever he could to help the scene in every aspect that he could, and I loved it. So he carried our boards as well. So, ooh, awesome. Lee Barlow, right? That's right. Hey Sam, you hear that? Sounds like Tommy might need some boards sometime. Cutting hair and selling boards. That sounds about right. That's smart though. At this point, a skate shop working with something else to succeed is such a smart idea. Like Matt Jackson down in Nashville, Indiana has Redbird Tattoo and Skate. That's really smart. He's got a tattoo shop and a skate shop in the same building. It's really hard to open up and keep a skate shop going right now, but man, that's so yeah, cities have gone and sandblasted. That happened at LP well before that we got to trying to clean it. The result of that, which sucks, is that once you sandblast it, it makes it just slightly more gritty. So then when they paint on it, cutting boards and selling hairs. But when they paint on it, then it's so hard to get off next time. And I mean, that doesn't make much sense because you're trying to remove something and then you gave them the perfect canvas to make something super permanent. And that's not even something that I thought about until I talked to the city about it. But man, it just sucked. That did suck. But what we did was I did a bunch of research, obviously too little too late on advice right now, but we approached the city with a plan and basically said, you've got artists that are willing to do free work if you provide the paint. And you've got a bunch of people that are willing to do the free labor to get it ready for them. So what we did was we had the city buy primer and block paints, the same stuff that they used at Burnside. I made sure I used the same stuff as Burnside so that people wouldn't bitch about the quality of the paint. And then we covered everything in a primer base coat after we made all the crack repairs and everything else. We did that all on our time. The city paid for the paint. And then we came in with a color scheme for a background, gray on the flats, purple and pink on the raised sections. The purple and pink kind of separated things into little sections. And then we put it out there that if you're a real graffiti artist and you're actually putting stuff up there and it's really pretty, it's really good, come on out. The city's gonna give you paint and you're gonna have a free canvas. So we ended up having 20 some artists come out, sectioned it out. Some of the biggest names across Indiana and the Midwest are on our skate park. We've got Kemp and Cross right next to each other. We've got some really cool stuff, including we turned our 8-stair into a memorial for anyone within the scene that we've lost. That doesn't just mean specific to our park, just just Indiana, Indianapolis area. We've sectioned that off into 16 possible spots, and then we put a memorial for Stuffy on there, and may he rest in peace. But it's made it so that the city knows that we paid attention to the park and we care about the park and we maintained the park to the point where now we had a 4th of July event that we weren't a part of this year. We were a part of it last year. And because we weren't there, some people got inside the skate park and vandalized it. And now, when I talked to the city this morning about it, they were saying like, nothing happened when you guys were there. So it looks like we're gonna have an event for next year's 4th of July. So sometimes those situations that seem really odd that could result in a skate park being gone, like what happened with Pipeline, could spur the conversation with the city that makes things better for your community and gives you a better skate park. That was a really long roundabout way of getting to that, but yeah, no, well, what's cool about Hunger Concrete, and what I really like about Hunger Concrete, a Hunger Park was actually the first park that I ever started my cleaning progress with. I volunteer with a nonprofit called Skate Park Respect. You volunteer and use community initiative and community volunteering work to offset the price of maintaining skate parks so that the city can invest that money back into the skate park in a growth way rather than a maintenance way. It's worked really well. You can't imagine the budget that cities work in for graffiti removal that you can offset with a can of goof off graffiti remover, a wire brush, and some green and some simple green. But since then, we've done things like built a retaining wall to keep the dirt back, cleaned up any time it gets vandalized, thrown events with the city. It's been a really successful relationship with the city that resulted from the same situation that got Pipeline gone. It's really sad. That's why it was really sad to see that. I feel like it's important that I talk about what happened at Lawrence as much as I can and get it out to as many people as I can, because I feel like if I thought a lot of people in Kokomo were aware of what I had done, not just me, it was the community, it was a big group of people. We just I was just the one talking at the park board meeting because somebody's got to talk. But I had hoped that people had seen that and kind of like, here's how you do it. Here's one way to do it. There's no one right way, but sadly, I realized I didn't get that out there as best as I could have. Oh, minimal decency. Thank you. It sounds like you're perfect for Skate Park Respect. Yeah. Go ahead, when we're done with this live here, there's an Instagram called Skate Park Respect. It's a nonprofit in California. Reach out to them, whether you're emailing them or texting them. You might get assigned Koch, the pipeline and Foster, but you can talk to them about it. They'll give you like steps on best ways to clean, where to start, and then you have a nonprofit behind you when you go talk to the city. So hit them up for ambassadorship, man. Sounds like you should be an ambassador in Kokomo. If their ambassador program is closed, and that would be on their website, that just means that don't have all the resources to be sending out the little grabbers and stuff like that. Best thing you can buy for cleaning up a skate park. You're gonna want a little half bucket, the little Menards half buckets, and then they've got this little attachment for it that turns your bucket into a dustpan. That is a lifesaver right there. And then just a broom and a little grabber. You can buy that at Menards. It's about like $5-6. Make sure you're not grabbing anything dangerous. Some of them have a magnet on them, so if you need to pick something weird up, you can. And then here is your tip for cleaning graffiti. Some people are going to get a little upset with me about this one, but if you want a better skate park and you haven't started the conversation with the city yet, you kind of got to start off with a straight, clean slate. So if you catch it quick enough, you can do this. You grab some goof off graffiti remover. Specifically goof off graffiti remover. This is how I do it. There are other ways to do it. You go over it fully, like full on fill in, do the outline, fill it in just like you're spraying the tag itself. Let it sit for a couple of minutes and then agitate it with a wire brush. And then come back with some simple green and wipe that up. It'll come up like an expo marker. Now if that doesn't work, elephant snot. That is a little more expensive, but it does get it off. Now there are some markers like some of the paint pens and some Sharpies, simple green, scrub, good to go. But when the city comes in and puts just non-skate specific, or they don't care about the finish on the block paint to cover it up, it'll burn your hands. It's a little rough. It's just a little weird. So that's why I like the people that actually use the parks to be involved in cleaning. But yeah, there's lots of ways too. And when you do become a part of Skate Park Respect, you'll be connected with a network of ambassadors. So if you ever have an issue that you're not sure how to solve, there's tons of people all over the world that have had those issues as well that you can ask. I myself am assigned to Lawrence Skate Park with Michelle Rippey. It's always good to have a partner when you're doing this sort of thing. Charlie and Zach are assigned to Major Taylor Skate Park. Let's see, Devin and Bruce are down at Greenwood, which is called Northeast Skate Park. And let's see, there's some others. I know that I just got some people in Fort Wayne asking me about ambassadorship, which made me really happy. I'm not sure if there were other people involved with Skate Park Respect in Indiana before I did, but I'm just really happy that it's growing. I got involved because I was cleaning off one of my friends, the memorial for one of my friends, and someone in the comments told me that there was a nonprofit that did what I was doing, so started talking to them, then started making videos with them and collabing for them to get the word out for them, and now we're here. So all right, we got 4 boards left. Sorry I keep getting off to random ramblings, but here we are. I said 4, we have 3. I also don't know how to count. So give me 1 second here while I learn how to count. 1, 2, 4, damn it. All right, 3. Yeah, man, it's a tricky one. But yeah, have a great day, man. Hey, Brandon. Why does that sound super familiar? Because I know a lot of Brandons here, but I have let's see, a couple years. I was at the Foster, the last a couple Cocoa Fests ago. I set up a booth up there, so I'm sure you'll see me up there at some point. I'm getting back to mobile again. That's why McIntyre. Now that all sounds familiar with longboarding and everything. I'm gonna have to check my Instagram and see if I follow him. Alrighty. Now let's get these last 3 done here. We might end the live a little bit early while I finish off on the orbital and finish some stuff up on my phone while I'm doing that. Alright, let's get through these popsicles real quick here. One more here to do on the belt, and we're done with the belt for the day. And then you guys are going to see how quickly these popsicles go through that rounding step. Routing. All right, let's get these 3 over here rounded off. This is my favorite step to show you guys. Let's get this up here. What's my favorite thing about making a skateboard? My favorite aspect of all this is the fact that I am definitely making something that's going to bring somebody joy. This little dumb wooden toy right here has saved my life more times than I can count. So the fact that I'm making something that is going to bring somebody joy just like it brought to me, it makes me extremely happy. this side here. There we go. All right, well guys, that's gonna be it for the live today. My least favorite thing about making skateboards is when somebody orders a mellow skateboard. Just kidding, I just really like our concave, so. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think there's really much that I don't like about this. Every step of this is really fun for me. I just really enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. So we're gonna go ahead and end the live though. Where do you get your blanks? This guy. Welcome to Life Skateboards. We don't have blanks, we make them. So here at Life Skateboards, we have the raw veneer. If you scroll back into the live that you're watching right now, you'll watch me glue up these boards. What's up, Brad? Caught me right at the end of a live. Here's where we glue them up. So where do I get the blanks? Right here. Where do you get your skateboards? At lifeskateboard.com. When am I coming to Oregon? As soon as I can. Cool, there is a company called Life Skateboards that makes great skateboards that you can order at lifeskateboard.com, because we do everything in-house. Because if you don't have control over the process that makes your skateboard, then you don't have control over the quality, so you can't promise that to anybody. So you can get a board from us where we do everything in-house. We glue them, we press them, we shape them, we apply the graphics with hand-carved lino blocks. Get a life at lifeskateboard.com. We don't sell uncuts, nope. You just sell the boards. Because remember, if you're selling boards that you didn't have a hand in making the uncut for, then you can't promise anything about quality. No, you can't buy uncuts from us. You can buy skateboards though. But yeah, we can do that too. We can make you a template. So yeah, so awesome. I know we're a different company than most of the people you'd reach out to and talk about this stuff with. So let me go ahead and talk to you about it a little bit here. If you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can reach out to my boss. That'll be Sam. Sam is a master woodworker. He made all of the templates in the other room. He started the company in 2012, and he will happily do some stuff like that for you. You can even just send him details about it, and he'll make it work. So yeah, you can reach out to Sam. All the contact information is at lifeskateboard.com. Sam is the owner and operator. He does all of the cutting out of the shapes. He makes all the templates. He does all of the other stuff like that. Oh wow, dude, that sounds so fun. But I got to get off of here. That sounds fun. Yeah, so we've got a couple hundred shapes that you can choose from on the website. Obviously, it's going to be cheaper than custom if you go through with something that we've got. But check those out. If there's not something that matches what you're thinking right away, and matching what you're thinking could mean the nose of one board, the tail of another, because we can do that for you. But if it ends up being something fully custom, reach out to Sam. He'll get you taken care of. But I got to get off of here, guys. I'm going to finish those boards up off the live. Just got a couple of sanding steps to do, but I want to get some good footage of it so I can post it later. And then And then we will go ahead, and I think I'm gonna try to swing by Minus Skate Shop so I can take some pictures of the boards they're selling. And we'll get it going. Of course, man, and if you wanna go ahead and subscribe, you can catch me here. That's the best way to ask questions about it. I can't answer every question for you, but some of the technical questions, that's what I'm here for. My name's Casper, I handcraft skateboards, and you're watching Life Skateboards. See you guys, have a great day, and get a life at lifeskateboard.com. See ya. Reach out on Stranger Casper, at Stranger Casper on Instagram if you haven't.